It's not time for you to be leaving yet.
Well, I've finished up all my work for the day. So what's wrong with me heading out of the office early and going out for my evening? I have plans to go meet with a friend of mine out on the town and everything. Do you want to complain about it or something, Rob?
I don't believe that you are finished with all your work quite yet, though. You've just gone and forced all the other coworkers to take your tasks from you. And because of that, a lot of them are thinking that they'll have to stay late again and put in more overtime.
Oh, are you going to try and preach to me about things this time?
No. This isn't me preaching to you about anything, actually. It's just that, well, you have everyone pretty upset over the fact that you're never actually doing any of your own work.
I see. So everyone is going ahead and talking behind my back about me now? That's a little bit of a shock to me, considering I thought all of us were just so close to one another here. I think I'm going to have to bring this up with my dad now. I'll let him know that I'm being picked on by everyone in this whole department.
No, you really don't have to tell your dad about any of this. We are not trying to pick on you in any way. Rather, it seems to be the opposite way around here. None of us are wanting to do anything to make you feel bad in any way. We just have some concerns about you, is all.
So you're telling me that people are not actually talking about me poorly behind my back?
Nobody is talking about you at all in that way, to be fair. None of us have ever been doing that, because we all know to come talk directly to you if we have serious problems. However, I think that time has started to come, hence me talking with you about it right now. You always seem to want to show up to the office whenever you want, and then go home whenever you want. And while in the office, you'll have everyone else in this department do your work for you, as you sit there at your desk, looking at your phone. We are not saying rumors or anything like that behind your back, because we are all way too busy to do so, with all your work being left behind.
Oh? So that's how all of you have thought of me this whole time? Well, to spare everyone else the might of my father, I'll only be telling him that you have been saying bad things about me in the office. I'm sure that my dad will become very upset by something like that. He might even have you fired soon.
I have not been saying anything bad about you, though. I'm just telling you what all of us think about you, and everything has been true thus far. I just want you to know that it'd be best if you started to do your own work from now on, and act a little more serious about your job here.
What? Now you're mad at me? Oh, I'm so scared. I've gone ahead and screenshotted all of these messages you've been sending to me, so you'd better start packing your things up and get ready to go.
Go right ahead and show him. I'm sure that after seeing how this conversation has gone down, he'll understand things a lot better and act upon them.
You think so? Well then, let's both be prepared then. But just know that it's not me who's going to be fired for this one.
Hey, are you Rob from the General Affairs Department here? Yes, that would be me. And who am I speaking to at the moment? So that must mean you're the one that went out of line and started talking down to the daughter of the executive director. Since you appear to not know a thing about the politics within this company, I'm going to have you moved out to the middle of nowhere to work. Are you really sure about that? I want you out of this office right now! Excuse me, David, but from what she told me, your daughter had shown you those screenshots of the texts that had happened between her and me, correct? She sure did show me! And I'm not letting some kind of complete stranger like you go and preach like that to my daughter all the time! No, if you had seen the conversation we'd had, then you'd know that what your daughter has been up to is not okay. I'm not the kind of man that really likes to preach at all to others about how to do their jobs and such. And that's why this time, I chose to just text her about it, so that it would all be in a much more lighthearted fashion. There is nothing wrong with my daughter! And even if she was causing problems for anyone in the company, you were all to look away from it and mind your own business! What? Did you not hear about how she's been pushing all her work off onto other coworkers, and then leaving the office to go home whenever she pleases? This is not the kind of situation where all of us can just ignore what she's doing. And the worst part of all this is that she doesn't seem to understand that what she's doing is wrong. She's not even willing to own up to it in any way. Stop lying to me! My daughter is a perfect and kind little girl. I've heard enough from you now, so get all your things off your desk and leave this office. I'm going to make you head to that small little office out in the middle of the countryside. You're going to have me move to another office all because of this? I think you are best to start thinking with your head on straight, David. The only reason your daughter was even hired into this company is because she's related to you. And now she's going around threatening other coworkers with being fired by her dad. As a working adult, does that not make you or her embarrassed by you guys' actions at all? You. Did you know that recently this company has been experiencing a lot of theft of materials from within its offices? I know about that. I was the one that started to make those posters all over the building, warning people to be more careful with their things to avoid them being taken. The man behind all that theft, it's you, right? Huh? What are you even talking about? That's the reason I'm having you moved out to that smaller office in the middle of nowhere, and your pay cut. I'm going to tell the company president that right now. I'm not going to tell him a thing about how you went against me and started to make nasty comments towards my daughter and then preach to her about her job. Do you even have evidence of me stealing things from this office? Well, I do happen to have some evidence, actually. I had a camera placed in the break room, where I was able to see every corner of it from. And I just happened to catch loads of videos of you taking things that are not yours! You put up a camera in the break room? You do realize that the break rooms are separated between genders for a reason, right? There are shower rooms and everything in there, so that could be a huge problem for you, having put up a camera in there to watch over everyone. But anyway, I have not been the one doing any of that stealing. Could you show me those videos that you've recorded of me? No way! There happen to be things of it of other employees in this company, and I'd like to keep all that private, of course. So I'm having the videos edited right now to remove all the people who have nothing to do with your crimes. But just know that you are in all of the videos, clearly. I know for a fact, because I remember every instance of you stealing things. This is my first time ever running into someone as awful as you. Are you not embarrassed by the things you are doing right now? You, even after all of this that I told you about, you still have the drive to want to fight back? You already know you're finished, so all of this fighting from you is useless, and you're making yourself look like even more of an idiot. Go and clean off your desk right now, and then leave this office before this day is over. Understood? Understood. Are you sure you don't want to talk with the company president about all this before I leave? Ha! The company president doesn't need to hear from me about how I'm having some low-level employee like you transferred to a worse office with worse pay. Is that so? Well, alright then. Get out of here, now! It's too bad for you that you had to be born with only half a brain!
Hey, I heard from my dad about everything, you know. He asked for you to get all your things together and get out of the office building. This must have really opened your eyes to reality, right? You are a complete disgrace to this company.
I know. Once I finished up my work for the day, I'm getting all my things together and leaving.
To be honest, I was hoping he would just fire you on the spot, but my dad is a very nice man, so he let you off the hook by having you move to that crappy and old office building. You should be thankful that he didn't take things any further with you.
If anything, I feel sorry that a company like this had to hire such a man as him. I suppose it was kind of him to only have me move to a different office, out of his sight. I'll enjoy a new place of work now, and hopefully, everyone there is a lot better behaved. I've become tired of having to care for the child that was only hired because of her connection to her dad after all.
Such a pile of crap you are, but since you're going to be moving far away from here, I'll forgive you for that one. Good luck with life out there in the middle of nowhere. I hope your life as a thief can be longer lived over in that office.
I am not a thief, and I haven't been stealing anything from this office.
Right? Lie all you want. You even stole my purse, right?
Huh? What are you trying to bring up this time?
I had my purse stolen by you even. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, actually. I'll let my dad know about that before he leaves the office today.
When did I steal that purse of yours from you?
It doesn't really matter when it happened, right? I saw it with my own eyes, so that's all that matters.
If you saw it with your own 2 eyes, then you tell me the time and place it happened at. If you really happen to see me stealing your purse in person, then you should know what day and time it took place.
It happened this week, on Monday, at 4:30 in the afternoon. At that moment in time, you came over to my desk and took my purse from me while I was standing down the hallway. And that's when I saw you running off with it. I was on my way back from the toilet and everything. You really are the worst kind of man.
4:30 in the afternoon, huh? That's a very particular time for you to be able to remember that happening at.
Well, of course it is. I have a picture as evidence that I took of it happening, and it says the time it was taken in the picture's info. It says it clear as day, so there's no mistaking it now. You're not going to be able to talk your way out of this one, you thief.
A picture, huh? You're going to find that a lie like that won't be getting you very far. But go ahead and do whatever you want.
I'm going to do what I'd like. I hope you find life hard at the other office when everyone there knows you as the corporate thief.
Hey, Rob. Tell me what kind of relationship you have with the company president? Excuse me? Why do you want to hear that from me all of a sudden? Right now, he's running all over the office building after coming back from that overseas trip he took, and he's yelling that he's looking for his grandson. Are you really the grandson of the company president? Well, yes, I am. And what does that have to do with anything? Why did you never tell me about any of that sooner? Well, had I told everyone that I'm the grandson of the company president, everyone in the company would start to treat me way too kindly, right? So I've kept that a secret this whole time, in order to keep balance and equality here. And luckily, our last names are different from one another, so nobody would have even been able to tell. So you really are his grandson? So you really are related to the freaking company president? Well, that's what I'm saying now. All right. I'd like you to come back to this office building at once and return to your desk. Huh? You don't have to put in any more time over at that crappy office. Come back here and return to your previous job. You should be able to make it back here before lunch, right? What are you going on about right now, David? You told me yourself before I left that place that I was never to leave this smaller office ever again, and that I'd be working here for the rest of my life, right? Well, things have changed drastically! When you say things have changed, is that because I'm the grandson of the company president? I do not want to be treated special because of my connection to him. I like to work with my own strength here. And that means I don't have anything to do with my grandpa. No, that's not what all of this is about. Now just hurry up and get back in here. I do not want this turning into any more of a problem than it already is. I'll go talk with the company president right now and try to calm him down for you. I'm sorry, but I'm not coming back. I happen to have a lot of work that needs to get done over at this office now. You are being a real pain in the butt for me now! Do you have any idea what'll happen if the company president catches on to what's happened? I don't care what happens. You're the executive director, so that's going to be your problem, not mine. But of course, he's going to be pissed with what you've done. He happens to hate when things don't happen according to plan, especially when it has to do with one of the higher-ups in the company. I can see that you think you're all special now! This is your last chance! Are you really sure you don't want to come back to this office and make things right for everyone? Even if I wanted to come back, I can't do it today. I happen to have a lot of work that needs to get done, and I'm not going back until it's all handled. For fuck's sake! David, it appears that you were contacted by the company president. You told him that you had found me to be the one who stole your daughter's purse. And that's why you had me kicked out of that office and moved out here. I did tell him that, because it's the truth. The fact that you had the nerve to steal my daughter's purse! I even gave you a chance to come back after kicking you out, but you said no to it! So this will all be your fault now! But you didn't have any evidence of me being the one to steal it, right? I don't think that it was the most brilliant idea trying to paint me as the thief, all just to have a reason to kick me out of there. Are you trying to smart-mouth me now? You're a freaking idiot, Rob! Alyssa happened to see you do it with her own eyes, and that's enough evidence for me. Also, with the camera I placed in the men's break room, I was able to catch you on it stealing it, and I know for a fact that's you! Then could you please tell me when it was that I was in the break room, stealing things? You happen to have video evidence of it, correct? That should mean that the time and everything of the incident are on that video recording as well. I have the time. This Monday, at 4:30 in the afternoon. The time of all this happening is in the bottom left corner of the video, so there's no mistaking it now. You went into the break room while everyone else was just leaving to get back to work, and you started sifting through people's bags and jackets. You thought that was the perfect chance to get away with it all, right? I see. Then this means that at 4:30 in the Monday of this week, I was in the men's break room, right? There are no mistakes with any of that information, right? Right. That's all correct. No mistakes. I can show you the timestamp and everything on the video recording later if you want. But it seems that your plan to steal everyone's things was never going to work out for you, huh? If you really want to think that this video is edited in some way, to make you look as though you stole those things, remember that I was in the group of men walking out of here, and I did not see you leaving the break room. So you were definitely behind all of this. I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but did you talk with Alyssa at all about the time that video recording of me stealing things from the break room took place? Huh? Why are you asking me that? Well, it just seems to me that there's something not quite right with all of this. From what Alyssa was telling me about me stealing her purse, she said it took place at 4:30 in the afternoon, on Monday. That's apparently when I went to her desk and stole her purse. Huh? And if you think that I'm mistaken, she told me she took a picture of me stealing her purse and all, and the time on it says 4:30. But even with that detail, you are telling me that at that time, I was in the men's break room stealing from them? How was I in two completely different parts of the office building at the same time? What? Wait a moment. I'm going to have a talk with her. Sure, go right ahead. Hey, Alyssa! Why did you not explain things to Rob like we had both discussed? I told you that at 4:30, I'd be saying he was in the men's break room stealing things, right?
Huh? No, I thought that we agreed that at that time he was going to be in my office stealing my purse off my desk.
I never agreed to you saying he was stealing your purse at that time?
This is your fault this time, Dad. Why are you going to try and blame me for you not telling him the right times we'd planned on? You were the one that messed up this time. You told me that we'd be able to do all of this easily and make him look like the thief so that we could get him out of this office without being caught.
And that's still the plan. I've been trying to help you get rid of him by painting him as the thief.
You are not helping me out, though. You totally forgot about the times we had agreed on.
But I explained to you before about how I have him recorded on the camera I placed in the men's break room and everything, right?
I never heard about all that from you. Are you kidding me? What are you doing? The only time we weren't going to have an alibi from the other members of this department was during the time I was with Rob, right? And that all took place at 4:30, so you were supposed to give a time besides that. Now, when they're questioning me on why he was in two different locations at 4:30, they're going to find a hole in our lies and blame me.
You'll be all right. They haven't started looking for anyone just yet who is behind this. And they haven't even began asking for all the evidence we have. Now, for the time being, leave all of this up to me. And just stand by and wait for me to be finished with it. Okay?
Huh? Are you trying to say that I'm getting in your way now?
Well, wait, that's not what I said!
Telling your own daughter to sit one out while you go and handle everything alone is the worst. Whatever, I don't care what happens to you now.
Alyssa!
Hey, you happen to be the grandson of the company president, right? I don't happen to have the phone number of the company president on me, so I'm going to tell you this so that you can tell him. The man that's been behind all of the theft within the company is my dad, David.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that?
I just told you what I mean. The man that's been going around stealing everything here is the executive director, my dad.
But you were saying before that you saw me with your own eyes, stealing your purse out of your office, right? You're starting to contradict what you've said before now.
I happened to make a mistake then. You and my dad happen to look very similar after all. Anyway, I want you to tell the company president everything I just said to you. Understood?
I do not want to become involved in whatever fight you're having with your father at the moment. And really, you don't have to worry about what's been going on in the company anymore, because the two of you will be getting fired here shortly. So maybe it's best you both just forget about whatever plan you made to have a reason for me being kicked out of that office, and just make up.
Huh? Why do I have to be fired as well?
Well, that's because you've been the one going around the office building stealing people's things from them.
Huh?
Let me tell you right now. Everyone here has seen you stealing things off their desks and out of their bags. That's why during these past few days, I've been going around gathering evidence of it and making an investigation. You did know that there are security cameras all over the office building's interior, right? Besides the break rooms, of course.
Security cameras? There are security cameras all over this office building's interior?
Yes, of course. And your father, the one who is the executive director for that office building, should have been aware of that as well. And well, on multiple of those cameras, we have video evidence of you stealing. And of course, the company president has watched through all of the recordings.
Lies. These are lies, right?
None of this is a lie. You're most likely going to be sued by multiple different people for this now. So I suggest you find yourself a really good lawyer. But if you don't want that, then maybe you need to start giving everything you've stolen back to the victims.
Well, it's not a problem for me. I still have my dad around to help me out of this.
Interesting. You were just going on about how he's been the one behind all of this. And now you want his help defending you?
My dad is a very kind man, so he'll forgive me for this. What? He's not answering his phone. What's going on here?
Did he go ahead and send you straight to voicemail or something? I'm sorry, but the company president has already gone and dealt with your father.
What do you mean? Then what am I going to do about this?
Well, now that your father, whose position you abused, is no longer around, there's nothing you can do. I think the first thing you can try doing is going up to everyone you stole from and try apologizing to them.
Shut up! I'm going to go and find my dad right now.
Rob, I'm so sorry about so many things. Out of my own selfish anger, I had you relocated to another office building and your pay reduced. And I also tried to paint you as the thief. That's right. And these apologies from you are well deserved. But being moved to another office building isn't that much of a problem for me. Everyone that's working out at this location are very nice people. And they've all been teaching me all sorts of things that even I never knew about the company. And the best part of all out here is there is nobody like your daughter here who is brought into the company because they're family and never get any work done. I can't really say anything to that now. I know that. Now, is that all you have to say? You're not going to ask me to say anything to my grandpa as a way of having him pardon you or anything? No. This was just meant to be me apologizing to you. I'm going to be leaving this company now. And on my way out, I'm going to apologize to every single person here for what I've done. Well, if that's how you're handling things now, then that must mean the company president towards you pretty well, right? I understand completely now why he was that mad with me. He was not going to take any of my crap from me, and he made that very clear. Just a bit ago, Alyssa ran into the room while he was yelling at me, and after he asked for me to leave his office, I could hear him tearing her a new one from the other side of the door. And when everything went quiet, the door opened, and she walked out looking like a zombie. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. Not even I'm able to picture how upset my grandpa must have been with you both. And I happen to be his family. At home, he's yelled at my mom and dad all the time, but never in a way that zombified them. But of course, I am his grandson, and he'd never, ever want to yell at me about anything at home. However, that doesn't mean he wouldn't yell at me like that when I'm one of his employees, and I've screwed up as bad as your daughter and you have. Well, anyway, know that I really am sorry about what happened. I promise that my daughter and I will never show up to this company again. That is a promise. Okay? Alright. Please do that. This company was made by my grandpa, and to me, it's a very important place. And so, having two people as selfish and crazy as you around here will not be tolerated ever again. And I'll make sure of it. Goodbye. After that, both David and his daughter Alyssa were fired from the company and kicked out of the office building. When it came to the money that Alyssa had to pay all of the victims, she never bothered to acknowledge any of it, and asked her father to pay it all instead. But her father had realized he was no longer going to spoil his daughter, and he said no when she came and asked for his help. In the end, she had to end up borrowing a lot of money to pay all the victims, and is now facing a lot of debt that she'll need to pay off somehow. After seeing the company president so angry at them, neither one of them wanted to work corporate anymore, and things between them really started to become distant. David started to seclude himself inside his house for a long time, never coming out to do anything in fear of seeing employees from the company. And Alyssa has started to work during the nighttime, working jobs that most women her age would be too afraid of. The company president went ahead and apologized for never noticing something as bad as what happened going on inside his company, a few days after firing David and Alyssa. He then followed that by saying he'd start to build a much closer and tighter workplace, where everyone could speak up about things without fear of there being a higher-up that would attack them. A few weeks after that, everyone in the office began to notice how much more relaxing work could be when that father and daughter duo were no longer around. My grandpa later asked me if I wanted to come back to the head office and work there again. But after what had happened, everyone there knew I was his grandson, and so I had to say no. I'd much rather work out in the countryside anyway, where people don't know my connections to the company president, and where everyone is just nicer to me. I told my grandpa that I want to work in a place where I'm not treated any better due to my connections, and that I wanted to keep working hard, so that I may one day be in his position as company president.
Hey! What was that all about, Susie? What you just did was very dangerous, so can you please be more careful up there?
What is up with you talking to your mother-in-law like that? I didn't drop that flower pot off the edge of the balcony on purpose, you know. It just happened to happen, as an accident is all. My hand just happened to slip while moving the pot, and it fell. And you know us older people tend to have a tough time gripping heavier items as we get older. So you can blame that one on my hands being a little shaky today.
You keep telling me you're not doing it on purpose, but how many times has it been now since you've started doing that? How many times is your hand going to slip while holding those pots off the side of the balcony? Do you need me to come up there and take care of those pots for you?
Well, I'm sorry that I keep losing a hold of them. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's due to your balcony rail being too short, and that leads to me dropping the pots off them too easily. I've told you before that it's pretty dangerous having such short guardrails on your balcony. Every time I lean in to either place a pot down on the rail or pick one up, they happen to slip a little. And sometimes I don't have the strength to hold onto the pot any longer and it just falls.
And I can understand it being an accident if it was only one time that you dropped a pot, but it's been happening over and over, and only when I'm standing down here. If you really are having issues up there, then figure out a way to be more careful before handling the pots again. But I know that you've been doing all of that on purpose, so I doubt you'll ever stop coming out onto that balcony when I'm down here.
Stop trying to accuse me of something that I'm not doing, Melody. All I've been trying to do is help these poor flowers that you have out here look a little better, right? If it weren't for me, they'd all be dead by now, and the front of your house would look terrible with a bunch of dead plants all up on your balcony. So stop saying such rude things about me and be grateful that I'm even helping out.
You telling me you're helping my flowers is a bold claim, considering all you've done so far is drop about half of them from up there. Tell me, Susie, Why are you only dropping all those pots only when I'm down here standing up the balcony?
And I'm saying no matter how much you try and question me, there is no good reason for it. It's just something that's been happening with me. All a bad coincidence. Now stop trying to play the victim card here when there is nobody trying to harm you.
Playing the victim card. What would happen if one of those pots were to land on my head? Things won't just end with me getting hurt. My life might be put at risk and everything due to those pots, and I would not be happy if it was due to you dropping them on purpose.
Well, that's only an if, right? So there's no point in continuing this discussion over something that isn't even happening. Not one of the pots that has fallen has hit you yet, so can we stop all of this? I promise that when one does hit you, that we can start to talk about what's happened.
I can't believe this. You don't even seem to be worried about what you're doing. If you're just going to continue dropping pots on me, then I don't think I can live with you anymore.
Well, if that's how you feel, then go right ahead and leave this house. I mean, it wouldn't hurt me any, considering you are a pretty useless wife. So if you were going to leave this house right now, it would go unnoticed, even by my son.
I knew it! I knew you were doing all of this as a way of getting me to leave the house. I don't mind you picking on me every now and again, but if you're going to start to try and harm me as a way of showing that you don't like me, that's where I'm drawing the line. Well, I don't want to be the one to leave this house, and I won't. I'll be bringing all of this up with Eric really soon.
Go right ahead and let him know about this. I haven't been dropping those pots on purpose, so he won't think anything of me.
What is wrong with you? Seriously, Susie?
So another flower pot fell from the balcony and almost hit you? I can't believe this crap. That old bag is really starting to show her age and probably needs to be left inside.
It's not because of her old age, Eric. She's been doing it on purpose when I'm under the balcony. This time was the third time it's happened. And she's never dropped them any other time besides when I'm standing right there underneath the balcony doing chores. Can you please say something to her about all of this? So far, I've had luck on my side, never taking one of those pots to my head. But at some point, my luck is going to run out and one of those pots is going to hit my head and I'll be done for.
Well, even if you tell me to, that old bag is telling me that she's not doing it on purpose, so I can't do much to stop her, right? And to be honest, she's always been kind of clumsy, so this is all just a part of who she is as my mother.
Well, if for whatever reason all of this has been an accident, we still need to address the fact that she's dropping pot after pot off the edge of the balcony, and it's both dangerous and costing us money. This is a serious problem, Eric.
Well, if you want me to think up something, let's do something about the guardrail up there being a bit too short. But look, getting that rail replaced will only cost us more money, right? Way more than just letting her drop a few $1 pots.
Then how about we just tell your mom that she's no longer allowed to go on the balcony? It's been dangerous to let her keep going out there without us doing anything, right?
But my mom loves to take care of flowers and plants like she's been doing. It's her one hobby that keeps her from getting bored. If we take that hobby away from her, she'd be left with pretty much nothing, right? Ever since Dad died, she's been left by herself and has a lot of time on her hands, which she likes to spend out there on the balcony.
If she wants to be with her flowers and plants, let's just put them all around the garden instead of on the balcony. Why does she have to be up there to take care of all of her plants? No matter how you try and think of it, the only reason for her wanting to be up there is to drop those dang pots on my freaking head.
Come on, my mom already told me. She said that having the plants on the balcony gives them more access to direct sunlight, and the flowers will bloom more vibrantly.
Whether she has them on the balcony or the ground around our garden, the sunlight is the exact same. She's just making up crap now. You were always on your mother's side, aren't you?
Well, I'm not trying to be on my mom's side with everything. It's just that this time, I really don't believe that old bag is doing anything like dropping pots off the balcony around you on purpose. She is a very kind woman, and she's taken great care of me ever since I was a little baby.
Whatever. I'm just wasting my time now talking with you about how your mom wants to kill me. Go right ahead and then suck up to your mom because that's all you're good at.
Wait a second. You're being a baby now. Hey, Melody. Come on now.
Again with this, Susie. Do you mind being a bit more careful when you're up there?
I'm oh so sorry. Once again, my hand just happened to slip. I am trying my best right now to be careful when handling this very large pot.
I can't believe you'd wait for me to come home from work just to drop that pot near my head. You knew that I'd be right under the balcony at this time, and that's why you let it loose.
I've told you to quit it with all that talk about me. All that's been happening recently is that my hands lose their grip on the pot and it falls right down to the ground beneath the balcony. I'm not purposefully doing it or anything, I promise. But was that the last one so close to your head? Just a little bit more to the left and I could have had you.
Stop all of that right now.
Oh my. It just happened to slip out of my hands is all. I didn't mean to drop that pot next to you on purpose. So please stop trying to act like I'm doing any of this to you. I'm getting really tired of you being a little baby about all of this.
If next time you hit me, I swear to God.
What? What'll happen if next time I do manage to hit you on the head? Are you trying to threaten me right now? Scary, scary. I might have had to take you to court for trying to threaten me like that. Huh.
Go right ahead and try taking me to court.
Hey, what's gotten into you, Melody? I was just joking with you about that, yet you can't seem to take a simple joke. Maybe you need to take a pot to the head every once in a while to help calm your serious butt down.
Is that you telling me you really have been trying to hit me in the head with those pots?
I never said that I've been wanting to hit you in the head or anything. But if you don't want to be hit in the head by me, get out of this house then. I'm totally fine with you going away for good. But of course, if you leave my son, you'll have to kiss his income goodbye and live off your own money.
Sure. And that's why I'm going to leave. Living in this place with you is not worth any part of my health or even my life for that matter. I can't wait to be free of all these worries once I'm out of here.
So then get out of here, Melody. Huh.
Hey, Melody, where the hell are you right now? There's been an accident here. Right now, my mom has been taken away in an ambulance.
Oh? What happened to her?
It looks as though she fell from the balcony and hurt herself really badly. I'm not sure all the details yet of how this could have happened to her, but she fell off the balcony while holding a flower pot in one of her hands, and one of our neighbors heard the sound of her falling and called 911 right away.
Is that so?
Is that so? Are you not worried right now about the state that my mom is in? That old bag ended up losing a lot of blood in that fall and is unconscious right now. At this point, I wouldn't put this accident past being her last.
Well, that was bound to happen, right? I've heard that recently the balcony has been pretty easy to slip on, and that might be the reason why she fell. Haha.
What the hell are you laughing about? This can't be. Don't tell me.
Don't tell you what, Eric? Are you starting to think that maybe I was the one to push her off that balcony?
Well, look.
Why would I ever do that to your mom, Eric? Especially since she is your mom after all. But I will say this. It kind of feels good knowing that she fell off that balcony for once. Thank goodness. Happened to her before she could do anything to harm me.
Why the hell are you saying all of that? I knew it. You were the one that pushed her off the balcony and put her in this horrible state. It couldn't have been anyone else, and you're even laughing about all of this now.
It's been weeks and weeks of her dropping pots on or near my head on purpose. Only when I'm underneath the balcony. And when I told you that she was in fact trying to hurt me, you never batted an eye. Yet, when she falls off the balcony and has to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance, you're pretty quick to turn around and blame me, right? Such a great husband you are.
No, wait.
Eric? Do you even know where you stand right now? I'll just give you a hint. Where you stand right now, you could have your job taken away from you at any minute.
You can say all you want about that, but there's no way, right? We promised that we'd never hold anything against one another within the company, and that's why I was okay taking that job from you. I had other companies that I was looking forward to interviewing for, but you told me that I should come and join yours.
Huh? You had a bunch of other interviews to look forward to, did you? That's strange, because what I remember is you couldn't find anyone to interview you for around 6 months, and that's why I offered you a job within my company. So what is this about other companies? And by the way, the one that took you and your mother in while you were jobless was no one else but me, right?
And I feel really bad for having to make you take us both in.
Therefore, you should be very thankful that I was willing to let you join my company and shouldn't be too hasty to blame me for something I didn't do. The fact that you even have time to be your mom's ally all the time is disgusting.
You were never this strict about things before. I think that you've changed from the woman I once loved and married.
Well, when someone has to go through multiple life-threatening events like having heavy pots fall on their head, they tend to change a little. Now, from now on, I'd like you to understand your position a bit better and listen to what I say to you instead of what your mother wants you to believe.
But that's... You and I are husband and wife, right? We are supposed to be equal in our relationship, right? What you're saying is...
If things are supposed to be as equal as you say they should be, then maybe you should have listened to me when I said your mom was dropping those pots on purpose. But of course, that won't ever make any sense to you since you're such a mama's boy. Well, if you don't want to go back to being unemployed and with a mother who will be disappointed in you after losing your job, then listen to what I say. Okay? If you end up losing your job, I'm no longer going to be nice to you and hide everything from your mom. Do you understand?
I understand.
Susie? How are you feeling now that it's been a couple of days since your accident? I hear that you really did a number on both your legs this time around. I'm sure they still hurt quite a bit, don't they?
You. What is up with that attitude of yours?
You're asking me what's up with it? Well, I'm just really happy is all. Seeing that someone like you has finally suffered from what you were trying to serve me, well, it makes me all warm and fuzzy inside.
You have no right saying something like that to someone who just had to be taken to the hospital. You knew about how there was a very high chance I never woke up again after what had happened to me, right?
Of course I knew about that. And that's why I sympathize with you right now. I'm sure had one of those flower pots you tried dropping on me actually hit my head, I'd have been in the same boat as you. Having a chance of never waking up ever again.
You were blowing things way too out of proportions there. You never even got hit in the head anyway.
That's right. I had some pretty good luck with me and never had to take a pot to my head. Susie, you were really trying hard to hit me in the head with those pots, right?
I've told you plenty of times now that all of that was not on purpose. Recently, I've just been having a lot of trouble holding on to those pots. And this past week, the rain had been nonstop, making everything on that balcony slippery. There are even times when you're not under the balcony where I will drop one of those pots on accident. So stop trying to make up loads of lies like that about me.
Of course, for a while there, I was thinking about how I might have been overreacting, thinking that maybe I was just trying to be the victim. And that's why, to make sure I wasn't just making things up in my own head, I set up some security cameras overlooking the balcony to see what all was really going on.
Huh?
I've seen every time you've taken one of those pots in your hands recently and waited for me to pass under you to chuck them down at me.
That might have just been the sun's light reflecting off the camera lens.
And of course, with it just being video of you doing that to me, someone might say the excuse that the sunlight might have distorted the image. Or that the lens was too dirty and you couldn't see the picture clearly. So, there really is no point to me having those videos at all, right? However, because of that, I made sure to have the sound recorded as well. Even if the ground is always under the balcony, you can still hear all the sounds of the pots crashing down below.
You didn't just record the video, but you had the audio recorded from those events as well? Why would you go as far as to record the sound like that? I would never do anything.
Are you sure? I missed again. That short line of words coming out of your mouth is very easy to pick up from the recordings.
That was just me saying that it was a good thing that those missed. That's all. I have not been trying to hit you in the head with those pots, I swear.
Is that so? Well, that's interesting to hear, especially when after watching and listening to those recordings over and over showed me the opposite. Well, no matter. Because it does not mean anything to me what you think you were doing or saying, as I'm still going to use both the video and audio recordings as evidence when I take you to court and sue you.
What? You'd sue me. But all of that isn't going to be good enough evidence for you if you take it to court. I told you a billion times already that I didn't do any of that on purpose.
Also, I took a strangely interesting video a few days ago. Do you want to see it? It's from 3 days ago on that night.
I don't want to see it at all. I haven't done anything at all, so why would I care to see your videos?
You haven't done anything at all, huh? You seem to really like to say that about all of this, Susie. Well, I don't believe one word of that. And do you know why? Because in this video, I have you down on all fours rubbing lotion and lubricant all over the balcony as though you were trying to make it all slippery. Ha!
What?
I'm assuming you were doing all of that in order to get me to slip and fall off the balcony, correct? But I guess that following day you totally forgot about what you'd done out there. And so, as you went out onto the balcony to start tending to your plants and wait for me to come out and drop a pot on me, you slipped and fell over the edge. That's at least how I remember those videos going after watching them plenty of times, but does that string of events sound right to you?
I never meant for any of that, though. I'm serious.
I don't need to hear that from you anymore, Susie. I've already seen all I needed and heard everything I've needed to as well. And it's very clear to me that you were indeed trying to hurt me. Now, good luck with trying to get your legs back to the way they were before the fall!
What is all of this? You.
Hey Mom, it's me, Eric. Listen, I was just wondering if you'd be willing to just own up to you having dropped those pots on Melody on purpose for me.
What? What are you saying to me right now, Eric?
She told me that if you confess, she'll let all of this go. And that you writing that down on a document for her would lead her to not having to take you to court.
There's no way she's telling the truth. She wants me to confess to all of that just so that she can take me to court and sue me. What's happened to you? Is Melody starting to threaten my own baby boy now?
I'm only asking you to do all of this for your sake, you old bag. Now, please just confess to all that you've been doing. There's already enough video evidence of what you've been up to. So just coming out with your true intentions will make the outcome a whole lot better for you. I don't want for you to be taken away from me forever, Mom.
Eric? But I'm...
Melody made it very clear to me that if you're not going to own up to what you've been doing, that she'll sue you for every penny you have. And if she's able to do that to you, then things between you and I will be over. You understand that, right? Tell her that you were trying to drop those pots on her head, and that you were the one to lube up the balcony to try and get her to fall off. Just hurry up and confess, Mom.
Alright, already, I'll confess. I was trying my hardest to get those pots to land on her head every time she came beneath the balcony. And to try and get her to fall off the balcony the next time she came out onto it, I rubbed lotion and lubricant all over the place.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mom. I've been so good for nothing. And now you're going to have to pay for it.
What do you mean, sorry? What will I have to pay for? What is going on right now, Eric? Hey, please respond to me, Eric. Hey, what the hell is going on here?
Susie, I see that you're finally out of the hospital. Well, I'm on my way right now to come and pick you up from there, okay?
Hey, I've had enough of this, okay? I've already tried asking my son to come and help me, so please just stay away from me and let him come get me.
No can do, old lady. Right now, Eric is on his way back into work, and I'd never let him take time off to come out and get you. And since it's the job that I've had him relocated to for a while, he won't be coming back anytime soon to see any of us.
What do you mean you relocated him to another job for a while? Where the hell has my son gone?
I can't tell you that much. That's all a secret related to my company and a few others. And since he's my employee, I'd never, ever tell you where he's gone for work, as it might compromise everything.
Huh? He's your employee.
You didn't know that? Well, I suppose you couldn't have known, since I've been hiding that truth from you ever since he found himself a job. Or should I say, ever since I found him a job that would take him. He didn't want you to be disappointed in him for having to either be unemployed or working for me, so we both kept that fact from you.
Is that right? He should have just told me that he was a part of your company now. Then there could have been a completely different outcome here. How pathetic.
However, me keeping all of this a secret from you only led him to becoming more of a mama's boy and never believed that you could do anything wrong. So, I broke our promise of keeping this all a secret from you so that I could finally get you to understand the reality here.
Huh? So that means that you've just broken a promise with your husband, my son.
That's right.
What the hell? There is something seriously messed up with you.
Calling me messed up? How rude, Susie. I was just coming around to being okay with being your caretaker and everything while you're in that wheelchair. And it's going to be around 6 months that you have to stay in that wheelchair, right? Oh, I am just so excited to be in control of everything you do.
No. What's going to happen with Eric then? He'll be coming back really soon from work, right?
Well, from what I've heard, it'll be at least a 6-month-long transfer at that other job. So, you won't be seeing him until after you're out of the chair. But he said he'd do whatever it'd take to make sure you're okay, and that is all a part of it. Ha!
Don't tell me that you're holding me hostage.
Calling yourself a hostage now? How awful you must be to say such a thing about this whole situation. No matter how you try and view all of this, Eric is just being a good mama's boy by working away from home for a while to keep you happy. And not I'll be able to have so much fun with you. Just you and me.
What the hell? What is all of this? What are you? No way. I'm not going to go back to living together with you again. I'd rather live in this world on my own if it meant being far away from you.
Hold on. You can't just try running away from me now, Susie. I have a whole lot of evidence showing that you were going to try and harm me in multiple different ways. So, if you try running from me, well...
You're making that all seem a lot less worse than it was. I never actually wanted to harm you. Not that badly, at least.
Oh, you think so? Well, that'll all be up to the jury to decide if things have to come to that, Susie. And I'm sure that, unlike you, they won't see something like what you were trying to do as not being harmful to me. So, if you do try and take a step outside my house, we are going to have the most fun we've ever had together in that courtroom.
Ugh, You're seriously... Is this your way of getting revenge on me or something?
Revenge? What are you talking about now, Susie? Why would I ever want to get revenge on you? I've already told you that I'm doing all of this as a way of making sure you and I have some fun alone time together. Just the two of us. You can just forget about your son for a while now and come join me as we both live together under that roof, enjoying every moment of it together. That's right. The two of us can go out onto the balcony this time and really enjoy all of that gardening you've always been telling Eric and I you love so much. How does that sound, Susie?
I'm sorry. Melody, I swear to God that I'll act differently now after all of this. I'm so sorry.
It's a little too late now for you to come to me with those words. And it's not like you need to apologize to me anyway, because I've already forgiven you, Susie. Now just you and I can look forward to living under one roof together.
I don't... no way. I don't want to live with you alone. I want Eric there too.
Stop getting so worked up over this. Nothing about what we're going to do together is going to be scary. I promise. And you know how good I am with promises now, right? Oh, that's right. You told me before that taking a pot to the head might get me to settle down a bit, right? Well, how about when we get home, I drop a pot on your head? After that, I arrived at the hospital and picked up my mother-in-law in her wheelchair from the hospital before going back home. I told her that I'd forgiven her already for everything, which I had. And so before making it home, we went out shopping, and then at home we went out onto the balcony together to have some fun. And we would do this day after day with one another, having the best time of our lives. Susie was so used to giving her son all her love and receiving the same from him, and she let me know just how much she missed him. But Eric still has a while before he'd be coming home, so I told her to get used to life without him in the house for a change. And of course, I think it will be a lot longer than half a year before he's back home, since I made sure he had to work for that other company for at least a year. But that should give me more than enough time to have fun with his mom, and make sure that she's happy being alone here with just me. There have been a few times now where she tries to run away from me by going out the front door, but I've put a stop to all that pretty quickly. All I had to do was lock the door from the outside and did the same with the back door, and now there's no way for her to leave the house again, unless she tries going over the balcony again. Tonight we are going to have a little remembrance party together, where we can relive those moments where she tried to hurt me with those flower pots or the lube on the balcony. And we'll start by watching all those videos I recorded again, so that the memories are fresh in our minds.
Hey, you no-good, useless old cow. I want you out of the house right now. Do you hear me? I can't stand being around you for another second. Honestly, just how long are you going to be bumming around in my house for, huh? You think I run some kind of charity or something? I want you gone!
Cameron, what in the world are you talking about all of a sudden? Where is all of this even coming from?
Oh, please. You and I both know very well that this has been a long time coming, and it's high time that I finally put an end to all of this nonsense. Now, you are going to collect your bags, leave this house, and never, ever come back ever again. Got it? I don't ever want to see your face again. I don't ever want to hear your voice again. I don't even want to live in the same state as you. But I guess I can't control that.
Wait a second, you mean that you're really serious about all of this? You really want me to just pack up all my things and just move out of the house? I don't understand though, where is all of this even coming from? I don't know what I did to make you ask this. I mean, is this your way of asking for a divorce? Are things really over for us? I don't understand what's going on here.
You really want to know why this is going on right now, Linda? I'm surprised that you can't just figure out this for yourself at this point. But the reason I want you out of the house, the reason I want a divorce, and to get you out of my life forever, is because you're barren. You can't have any kids, that's why.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. Is that really why you want me to go?
That's right. I really didn't think things were going to get this bad. I really never imagined that a girl like you would even be infertile the way you are. But now that I know the truth, now that I know how truly useless you are, there's just no point in keeping you around at all. And that means there's no point in being married either. The only reason I married you in the first place was so that we can have kids. My parents just wouldn't get off my back about finding a girl to have kids with. So this is all their fault too. Just any chance they got, they would always ask if I was going to have kids soon.
But Cameron, you know that we can't help that. Besides, we've only been married a year. And it doesn't mean that either of us are medically infertile. Some couples can be married a long time and just don't ever have kids.
Well, I want kids, and I know the reason why we don't have any is thanks to you. This is really all your fault at the end of the day, and you and I both know that. I know that this is all your fault. And how dare you even imply that it could be either one of us? You're the only one whose fault this could be. Do you have any idea how hard I work for this family? How much I try to provide for us? And yet you really have the gall to sit there and pretend like things are going to be okay, even though we know how useless you are now. Well, I am not going to sit here and put up with you any longer than I have to now. I want you out of the house, and I want you out right now. You're basically trash, and I'm asking you to take yourself out. But if you don't, I will. I promise you that.
Cameron, if you want to ask for a divorce, then just ask me for one. There's no need to take this tone or use this kind of language with me.
I just knew that I should have tried to get married to someone younger than me. But maybe it's not too late. Maybe I'll still be able to find a young woman who wants to marry me. But first that means taking out the trash and getting rid of you. I seriously can't believe that I let you leech off me for a whole year. You've done nothing but spend my money.
And so that's why you think it's okay to force me out of the house and end our marriage? Well, that says a lot more about you than it does me. And you should know that I am not infertile. I am perfectly capable of having children, thank you very much.
Look, Linda, I get why you wouldn't want to admit that you're the problem here, but it's just a fact. There's no point in trying to deny it or run away from it. Anyways, I've already signed my half of the divorce papers, and they're sitting on the kitchen table. So why don't you sign your half, and then send them off to be processed for me?
You mean that on top of everything else, you're going to make me take these papers down to the courthouse to finalize our divorce alone? Well, fine then. Maybe this is a good idea after all. Good riddance, you lousy, pathetic excuse of a man. I hope that I never, ever have the displeasure of having to ever see you again.
Oh man, just what the heck do you think you're doing, huh? Don't tell me that you've been stalking me after all these years. I would have thought that you'd finally gotten over me. But I guess I can't blame you for not. But wow, after 3 years, I would have thought you might have just gotten bored and decided to go and bother someone else.
Cameron, what in the world are you talking about? Did you really think that I'm stalking you? I literally am only attending a wedding, and that's all. But it's not like I knew it was a wedding that you were going to be at, and I certainly wasn't planning on running into you today. But when I got here and realized that you were going to be the groom, I knew this day was going to be all downhill from there.
What are you talking about? I'm the one who should be saying that, if anything. I mean, it's a wedding day, and now I'm having to deal with my crazy stalker ex? Frankly, I'm just a bit scared that you're even here.
Well, I'm telling you that I'm not stalking you, and I didn't even know that this was a wedding that you'd be at. I told you all those years ago that I never wanted anything to do with you, so why do you think I would knowingly come to this if I knew you were going to be here?
Well, because it's clear that you're still into me. What other reason would there be for you to come here? If not, because you're still into me after all this time? Still though, I really just think that it's time for you to move on. I don't want anything to do with you, so swallow your feelings and leave me alone.
You really haven't changed at all in these 3 years, have you? You still just refuse to listen to anyone but yourself. I'll have you know that I moved on a long time ago and am not interested in you in the slightest. I mean, can you really not just tell that by looking at me?
Yeah, no. The only thing I can tell by looking at you is that you're still clearly head over heels in love with me, and that nothing is going to change that for you.
Honestly, just what about me being here actually makes you think that, huh? Don't forget that you were the one who left me for no good reason. Why would I ever want to see you again after that? And don't make up some lie about me still wanting you. That's just creepy.
Well, like you said, the proof is in the pudding, and all I have to do is look at you to see the effect that I had on you. It's obvious that you took us breaking up really hard. You must have been in so much shock, and that's why you've gained all this weight. You look like a whale, Linda.
You know, Cameron, I think you're the one that's still hung up on what happened between us 3 years ago. Can you please just give this bullying a rest already? Besides, I'm not fat, and you have nothing to do with why I look like this.
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to be embarrassed just because you look like you swallowed a couple of car tires. I mean, that poor dress that you're wearing looks like it might just burst off of you. Honestly, even before I realized it was you, I was cracking up at who this cow at this wedding might be.
You really are just horrible. Do you know that? And for the last time, I am not fat, and the way I look has nothing to do with you. Besides, I'm not even fat. Can you really not figure out what might be going on just by looking at me?
Oh, come on. You can't hide what's going on there. There's too much to be able to hide anyways. Just admit it. Admit that the shock of our divorce was too much for you, and so you started stress eating, and that's why you're like this now. Of course, it's not my fault that you did that though.
Look, Cameron, I am trying to tell you that you are dead wrong. Why won't you listen to me?
Well, it's because you're just in denial. But it's okay. I'm glad you're here, because it's just so funny to laugh at how you've become. Why would you even bother to show up at this wedding looking like that? Surely, you must have figured that I'd make fun of you for all of the weight you put on.
Well, it's not weight, it's a baby. I am pregnant with a baby, Cameron.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? That can't be right. How can you be pregnant? That just doesn't make sense at all.
And just why doesn't it make sense for me to be pregnant, huh?
Oh, come on. Did you forget why I wanted to divorce you, Linda? I know that you remember, so don't play dumb with me and act like you don't know.
I'm not pretending like I don't know anything, and I remember you left me because you decided that I couldn't have any kids without any proof of the matter. And then you demanded that I divorce you for that reason. That's why you left me. So if anything, I would say that I have a much clearer memory of what really happened than you do.
I seriously have no idea what you're going on about. But I know that the fact of the matter is that you can't get pregnant. I mean, that's why I divorced you.
Are you even reading my texts? I'm trying to tell you that you decided that with no proof that it was true at all.
I'm really not following you there. What are you trying to say?
Ugh, whatever. It's clear that this conversation is just going to start going in circles anyways. I don't see any point in keeping this up. I'm just going to go and try and enjoy this wedding.
You fat cow! I'll make you the laughingstock of this wedding. I'll tell everyone all about how you snuck in here because you still have feelings for me. I'll make sure that everyone knows you're nothing but a jaded stalker and a fat one at that. Did you really think that I was going to take you back if you came here looking like that? You've got to learn, and I'll tell you that much.
Cameron, for the last time, you are the one who's wrong here. I am telling you that I am pregnant, and I didn't gain weight because you left me. Can you please just stop with all this nonsense already?
It's fine. You could just say that you don't have any other lie to try and sell to me. But if you don't want to get made the laughingstock of this place, then I would leave now. Just turn around and walk out that door if you can even fit through it, you fat ugly cow.
I really don't think that things are going to go your way if you try anything with me, Cameron. In fact, I think if you even try anything to embarrass me, that it is all going to fall back on you.
You really have lost your mind, did you know that? Don't you know that everyone here at the wedding is here to see me? More than half of these people are from my company, in fact. Obviously, they're going to trust me over you and believe that I have to say over some fat, crazy stalker.
I'm telling you that if you try anything, you are going to regret it. Now, don't say that I didn't warn you. I am seriously trying to give you some advice here, and you should really listen to it for your own sake.
Hey, just what the heck is even going on here? I don't get it. What are these people thinking? Why am I being forcefully removed from this wedding? It doesn't make any sense at all.
It probably had to do with you acting the way you were acting around her.
That can't be right, though. I didn't do anything wrong at all. This isn't fair. I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, the wedding venue certainly doesn't seem to agree with you there. But like I said, you haven't really changed and you still seem incapable of accepting that anyone other than yourself could be right.
And just what is that supposed to mean? I still don't understand what's going on here.
Well, you should know that the father of the baby that I'm carrying right now is, in fact, my new husband's baby. Of course, everyone else here at the wedding realized or managed to guess that. Do you really not see why the whole wedding party might turn against you after what you did to me?
Well, it's all my fault. I didn't think that you were going to scream so loudly. Besides, this still doesn't explain why people are treating you like you're better than me.
It has nothing to do with being better or worse or higher or lower than anyone. The fact of the matter is that you were acting ridiculously in a public space. I mean, you did realize that we were surrounded by people, right? That we're both at a crowded wedding? Did you really not think at all that someone might say something about the way you were acting? That you weren't just publicly embarrassing yourself in front of everyone else? You really should have just learned when to stop, but you just kept pushing and it got you chased out of this wedding for your own coworker.
Well, just how in the world was I supposed to know that your new husband was the CEO for our company? How could a fat, ugly cow like you land a man like that? That math just doesn't add up, and I know that you're trying to pull something on me. I know that you're up to something.
You really have no idea what my life has been like since you left it. I'll have you know that I met my husband completely by chance. You have had nothing to do with my life since we decided to end our relationship, and it's coincidence again that I've come to a wedding that you also happen to be at.
But that's just my point. How dare these people kick me out of this wedding? What's the matter with them? How could you do this to me?
Are you seriously going to try and blame me for what you've done to yourself? I told you all those years ago that I wasn't infertile and that I could still get pregnant. Now, all these years later, you tried to put me down using that same old line about being barren. You thought that everyone else at the wedding would find it as funny as you did. And that's why the groom decided that he finally had enough of you causing a scene at his wedding and ordered you thrown out. Now please tell me exactly which part of that is my fault and why you think that way.
Oh, just shut up already. You know that it's your fault, and you're just hiding behind other people. And don't you know the trouble that I'm in now? The groom for the wedding is my manager. Don't you realize the horrible things that could happen to me now?
Well, it sounds to me like that's just you accepting responsibility for your actions, but I'm not surprised you're just trying to run from that. You know, there hasn't been a single day where I haven't been happy that you and I broke up.
Oh, just shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You completely embarrassed me in front of everyone in there. Don't you realize that? This is all your fault. You humiliated me in front of my coworkers. And how dare you get remarried before I do? That's not fair. How could you do that to me?
You can't say that I didn't warn you, Cameron. We were texting earlier today and I tried to tell you that I was pregnant. I told you that I wasn't barren or anything like that. If anything, the one who can't have kids is probably you.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? How in the world do you figure that I'm the reason we couldn't have kids?
Seriously? You can't put that one together yourself? If we couldn't have kids together, but I'm clearly capable of having kids, then whose fault is it? I'm pregnant, so it clearly is not mine. Are you starting to get what I'm saying now, Cameron?
Wait a second. I think I get it now. You're saying that you're pregnant with my kid.
Are you stupid or something? How on earth could it even possibly be that? We got divorced 3 years ago, and I haven't seen you since then.
But then, what do you mean? What are you trying to imply about me with your pregnancy? I don't understand.
I'm saying that you might want to schedule an appointment with a doctor and have yourself tested for fertility. Because again, it's clear that I wasn't the problem when it came to having kids.
How dare you imply that about me? You can't just say that you think I'm the infertile one just because you had kids.
That's not even the point that I really care about, though. My point is that you left me because you thought that I couldn't have kids. You told me that was the reason why you divorced me, but I am telling you now that that is clearly not the case. So all of this, going all back to the divorce, is all your fault.
Are you trying to tell me that I can't have kids on top of that? Does this mean that I'll never be able to have any? That isn't fair!
I have no idea what's going on inside your body, Cameron. That's why I told you to go and talk to a doctor. I just wanted to let you know that you divorced me for a reason that you made up but was never true. Maybe both our bodies just weren't ready for it when we were together, but then again, we weren't together for very long.
How can you say that we weren't together for that long when we were married for a whole year?
I'm not saying anything is certain for a fact, but I'm saying that the reason you gave me for leaving me didn't turn out to be true. And because it wasn't actually true, I'm only suggesting that you go and see a doctor yourself. But honestly, I am glad that you and I never had any children together because it would have made getting the divorce much more difficult. I'm just so happy that I was able to cut all ties with you and not have anything keeping me in touch with you.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about at all. I can have kids. Don't you dare try and tell me that I can't have any kids of my own.
I guess you must be taking this pretty hard, huh? I mean, the whole reason you left me was because you thought I couldn't have kids. And now you're finding out that you might have been the cause of our childlessness all along. But didn't you tell me 3 years ago that you wished you married someone younger? Why don't you just go and try doing that, and then you can prove to me that you really can have kids? After all, you were so confident that it was all my fault when we broke up, don't you remember?
Well, I did have a girlfriend, and she was younger than me, but her and I broke up.
Aren't you leaving out the part where she's the reason you wanted to leave me? Why else would you demand a divorce so suddenly?
Wait a second. You mean you knew that I was seeing someone else when you and I got divorced?
Of course I knew you were cheating on me. I mean, you are so easy to read, it's not even funny. But I didn't have any problem leaving you, so I agreed to the divorce. I thought it was a good chance to cut you off and run.
So then, you wanted to divorce me. You were happy that we broke up?
Of course I was happy. Why would I want to be with a mean husband who was cheating on me this whole time? Who blamed me as the reason why we didn't have any kids together? Of course I wanted to leave you.
But, I mean, I really did think that you couldn't have any kids.
Oh yes, I know exactly why you left me, and we've gone over this a few times now, but now we also see that that isn't true. So again, I recommend that you go and see a doctor about that for your own sake. Or don't listen to me. I really don't care either way. After all, we're not married anymore, and I was hoping to never see you again.
But then, how could you do this? How could you marry someone else and get pregnant by them? How could the baby you have inside you not be my baby?
Okay, is that last one a serious question you had, or are you just still in shock? I mean, how could I even possibly be pregnant with your child when we haven't seen each other in 3 years? You do understand how babies are made, right? Anyways, I guess this meeting wasn't a total waste. At least I feel like I got you back somewhat for all that you did.
Got me back? What do you mean by that? Got me back how? Don't tell me that you were always out for vengeance. Don't you know that I loved you? But I had to let you go.
Oh, please, you called me a stalker and kept insulting me. Are you really going to try and play all nice with me now? You are a sad little creep, and I am glad that you and I broke up. Now have a nice life.
Wait, you mean that you're going to stop talking to me? You're going to leave me just like this?
Of course, we're done talking. I've said all I want to say, now I'm going to go back to enjoying the wedding. But I'm sure you'll get what's coming to you. I'm sure you'll be punished for what you did in good time.
Hello, Linda. I hope you've been doing well.
Oh my gosh, what do you want now?
I wonder if you have a little time to talk. Well, I was wondering if we couldn't get back together. I'll raise your child like it was ours. Please, I was fired after what I did at the wedding, and I don't have anyone else I can turn to.
Well, I don't think that you can come to me either, creep.
Oh, come on. I am trying to be nice here. Why do you have to talk to me that way? I just told you that I was fired, didn't I?
And you really think that I care at all about that? I'm glad you got fired, and I'm not going to help you.
Come on, Linda. Don't be like this.
Honestly, why did you even bother to message me with this? This is just a huge waste of time. And if you really thought this was going to work, then you needed more than a doctor. You need a shrink to fix what's wrong with you. In the end, Linda blocked Cameron on every possible medium and platform. Without a job, Cameron had to move out of his apartment and move into one much smaller. Unable to find a new job in his same field, Cameron had no choice but to take the first jobs he could find. Now he works a couple of part-time jobs and barely makes enough to make ends meet. And Linda, well, she just moved on with her life, had her kid, loves her husband, and hasn't thought back about Cameron since the last day they talked to each other.